Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So recap time. So I started out at the beginning of 2021 doing animations just to kind of get better at them. I've been doing 3D for ages, but the one thing I've been weak at is 3D animation, mainly because of the other programs I've been using, so I wanted to try out doing something better in Blender and getting used to it. So I did a couple of smaller animations, going over games that I really liked, really enjoyed, and I wanted to finish off with Undertale. I prototyped some smaller bits of it, and it was looking good. And then my love for Undertale kind of made it spiral out of control, and it became a fully fledged 3D movie project. So I animated little bits here and there of things like the ruins, Snowdin, Waterfall, Hotland, the True Lab, bit of the core and New Home together, and the end game. And then at that point, I kind of decided, I might as well just go in and do the entire thing and see how it comes out and really, really try and do the best that I can. And this is when I started realizing that some of the assets that I'd already got, I'd sourced from places like Source Filmmaker, um, they weren't enough, and that I'd have to build a lot of stuff myself or try and ask people whether I could borrow the assets. Especially for the True Lab, which required me to get a lot more characters than I actually had, and some of them were hard to find. So then I had a look around the internet, and I saw quite a few of them were on VR chat. So I went ahead and asked one of the creators on VR chat for the models for the animation. I pitched them the idea, they liked it, so they let me borrow the models. So that's where we're up to. I got most of the ruins done, and for Snowdin, when we look at the map for Snowdin here, we start off on the far left, we go to the far right, and that's the end of Snowdin. And before I started doing the True Lab, I was animating all these segments, and we'd got up to roughly, when you go through slowly like this, we got up to round about here where this ice sheet is. The reason why is because getting each character's animation right to really show off the personality and stuff is a little bit hard, especially when you're trying to time it all to audio and things. It was crazy, and like I said before, with me not being too good at animation, this being practice, I really wanted to make sure this was as good as possible. So it's lots of retakes and really focusing on the little details and things, getting everything working how I want, but it's really satisfying seeing things come together in Blender. But yeah, we've got a long way to go on Snowdin. But then that's when this deal was made to borrow the models, so then we went ahead and started on the True Lab. Now, in previous animation updates, I've shown off making the True Lab, getting the atmosphere right, getting the details correct, trying to develop it properly as a level first, and then making the scale and everything correct so I could film in it and have characters moving around in it, and then getting the characters from VR chat into Blender, and messing around with the materials, making them look like you would expect in Blender, giving them less cartoony cel shaded materials and more physical based ones, or at least ones that we can mess around with the nodes a little bit more. And that's when I started doing more animation for this section in particular. The whole idea is that I want to get the True Lab done before Christmas if I can, or even just before the new year. I don't want to work over Christmas. I've done that many a time in the past, so I want to try and get this done before Christmas. I don't want to stay up on Christmas night doing stuff for this animation, because I just want to break. So, the idea is to finish up beforehand, so then in the new year I can come back, I can get Snowdin done, and hopefully then I can go on, finish up the other areas, and by June, roughly, I want this entire thing to be done. Hopefully. It may go on longer. It's already gone on longer as it is, because I was supposed to be done by now, but as I said previously, it was meant to be a couple of smaller clips, which I've shown off in other videos, other little previews. I didn't expect it to spiral out of control. It's just got what I've got to deal with right now. So anyway, we're up to the point of animating some of the boss encounters in the True Lab, and for that I wanted a very liquidy style material, primarily because the characters in the True Lab are made up of different monster parts, and the short way of putting this without giving away too much is that the monsters in the True Lab are melting, so I wanted to convey that or show off that melting kind of look to them. So of course then we start researching different videos. So we've got this one here, which is Liquid Sims.
Have a very high potential. In my past videos, I teach you how to make some kind of simulations using.
So the idea was that I would look at this Liquid Sim, and then we'd just replicate this, and
all you have to do is
we see here at the end
and you could even rotate it in order to get different.
We get this slime sort of look, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then I decided, maybe Liquid Sim is a little bit too intensive for the animation. I won't be able to do that and have it run without it possibly messing up or just going all over the place. It'd be a lot of messing around. So instead I found this other free pack by Yuda Judah here, which I'm going to experiment with. This is the other alternative. This looks pretty funny.
Today I will show you how to use my brand new sticky liquid asset. I made this so you don't have to deal with stupid liquid simulations. Did I tell you that I hate liquid simulation? First change the gravity to 45. And download Jigglymotor add-on. Anyway, first asset is simple like punching your grandma. Just grab it and place it, then shrink wrap to the mesh using selected group.
So yeah, hopefully I can get this to work, because the idea is that I want most of the monsters to look like they're melting in some way. If I can get it to work, I'll be really happy. If not, I'm going to kind of freak out, because this is like my last thing I can think of to make it easy on myself. But the good news is that it's all going well so far. There's obviously a little twist that I've said to multiple people, or, via Discord, that some people don't know about yet. There's a twist to the entire sort of experience, or the entire video that I'm doing, that I want to hit home with, and if I get it right, then it's going to be really good. If not, there's going to be a load of random comments going, what were you even doing here? What's going on? And I don't want that. So hopefully, by doing some of the stuff that I'm doing, like different camera swaps or camera cuts at different times to try and illustrate what I'm going for, hopefully that'll work and I'll get across what I want through this, because ultimately, to build it up, there's lots of planning and a little bit of a difference between what normally happens in the game compared to the animation, but it still follows it as faithfully as I can, including all the little details and everything. Honestly, I'm trying not to deviate from it, so hopefully the True Lab will be the final place where everybody will kind of get an idea of what I'm going for if they don't already by the time I've got up to this point. I'm trying to make it pretty obvious. If not, then when it gets to the end should make it abundantly obvious. Any other things, additional things that I want to put in, I'll do that outside of this section of the animation, so that we might get, this is the 6th part of the mini-series that I was doing. We may get a 7th part at the end that I just do just to clarify everything. But apart from that, I'm really enjoying it. Hopefully this will solve everything. Again, thank you to Pikmin for letting me borrow these models. Hopefully in the next updates, I can at least show you the solution that I came up with for the boss encounters and everything. Again, everything's going really well. I don't want to show off too much, so I'm only showing off very choice scenes here. I hope you guys have all enjoyed again, and I shall see you on the next video. So until then, thank you very much for sticking around. I'll see you on the next one. Bye!